Have you ever had a donor quietly disappear? No angry phone call, no critical email, no disagreement with your mission. They simply stopped giving. If you're a nonprofit leader, pastor, executive director, or development officer, you've probably experienced this. And here's the surprising part: most donors don't stop giving because they've stopped believing in your mission. They stop giving because they've stopped feeling connected to it. My name is Guy Williams, founder of Community Lifters, and today I want to talk about one of the biggest challenges facing nonprofits and ministries: donor retention. Because the real question isn't how do we find more donors? The real question is, how do we keep the donors God has already entrusted to us? For years, nonprofit leaders have focused heavily on donor acquisition. We spend enormous amounts of time, money, and energy trying to find new supporters. Yet many organizations are quietly losing existing donors through neglect. Think about it this way: every donor represents more than a financial contribution. They represent trust. They represent belief in your mission. They represent someone who has chosen to partner with you in changing lives. When a donor leaves, the loss isn't just today's gift, it's future gifts, future introductions, future volunteers, future advocates, future impact. So, why do donors leave? The first reason is simple: they never see the impact. Most donors don't give because of organizational need, they give because they want to make a difference. They want to save babies, feed families, disciple students, strengthen marriages, advance the gospel. When they stop seeing evidence that lives are being changed, their connection begins to weaken. One of the greatest mistakes nonprofits make is talking too much about needs and not enough about outcomes. People give to needs, but they remain loyal to impact. The second reason donors leave is because they begin to feel like an ATM. Every communication becomes another request, another campaign, another appeal, another urgent need. Imagine if every friend you had only called when they needed money. That relationship wouldn't last very long. The same principle applies to donors. Donors want to feel like partners in the mission, not simply sources of funding. Third, many donors leave because they don't feel appreciated. One of the most powerful donor retention strategies costs almost nothing: a sincere thank you, a handwritten note, a personal phone call, a quick message sharing a ministry win. These simple actions communicate something every donor wants to hear: you matter. And finally, donors leave when leadership loses clarity. Donors invest in mission. When the mission becomes confusing, donor confidence declines. When programs multiply without focus, donors notice. When communication becomes inconsistent, donors notice. When the organization appears to be drifting, donors notice. In fact, what many leaders believe is a fundraising problem is often a mission clarity problem. So, what can you do? Here are 5 practical ways to improve donor retention. First, report impact more often than you ask for money. Second, build a systematic donor appreciation process. Third, treat donors as mission partners. Fourth, communicate consistently. And fifth, protect your mission clarity at all costs. The healthiest organizations understand that donor retention is not primarily about fundraising. It's about stewardship. It's about relationships. It's about trust. And trust grows when donors can clearly see the difference their generosity is making. Let me leave you with one final thought. The next breakthrough in your organization may not come from finding new donors. It may come from caring more intentionally for the donors you already have. People support ministries they trust. They remain committed to missions they understand. And they stay engaged when they can see the impact of their generosity. If this video was helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with another nonprofit leader. And if you'd like additional resources on donor development, leadership clarity, and nonprofit growth, visit Community Lifters and join our growing community of faith-based leaders. Until next time, stay focused on the mission.